Hey guys, I'm Brian McCauley and welcome to the McCauley's Design Workshop. I'm going to do something I haven't done before, and I'm going to do an update video. I've done a couple things in the shop this past week or two that I haven't made videos for, and so I thought I'd just kind of share them with you. First up is this charging dock. I built this a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and it's basically what I use to charge my phone in the shop. It's got the charging cable that goes through it, and the actual charging part that plugs into the phone is epoxied into here. What I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to make another one. I can't seem to keep my kids' faces out of their phones. So if we have a central place in the house where phones can go and live, as opposed to, in their pockets, perhaps that'll keep their faces out of their screens a little more easily than, if they can just reach into their pocket and grab their phone. So I'm basically going to take this same idea, but make one so that it can charge 4 phones at once. So there'll be side by side, 2 side by side, and then another tier behind them that holds another 2 phones. I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with all the cords, but I think what I'm going to do is make this back section significantly larger, which is going to be anyways because there's going to be 4 phones on it, and I'll be able to make a removable bottom and hollow out the space in there and put a 4-port USB hub so that all the phones can plug into that, and then there'll just be one cord coming out the back that plugs into the wall. So that'll be interesting and something kind of fun. Certainly different than the things I usually build. And so that's something to look forward to. Hopefully I can get that going in the next week or so. I ordered all the cables and the USB hub and all that stuff, so hopefully that'll be here in a couple days. Next up is I finally got around to building a new router lift. This is essentially Jay Bates's design. He recently built one and provided plans for it. I did alter them a little bit because I wanted it to attach to the router plate that I already had in my table saw wing. So I changed the dimensions and everything. Essentially, the sliding mechanism that raises and lowers the router is exactly the same. The arm that he uses, it's the same idea. So I bought the plans like the day he provided them, and I just got around to doing it. It's certainly not the prettiest thing I've ever built in my shop, but it works really well. I used it on the next thing I'm going to show you. If you're looking to build a router lift as opposed to buy one, I highly recommend these plans. They're pretty easy to customize. That's certainly what I did. So go check out the plans for Jay Bates's router lift if that's something you're interested in. I'll leave a link to his video and his website in the description here. It's pretty simple. This knob is what locks the router in place. You can raise it and lower it with this handle. Super cool design. So the next thing I have to show you is this cutting board that I made. It's maple and walnut. I just finished it with some mineral oil. The interesting thing about making this cutting board is that I didn't flatten it with a drum sander because I don't have one. And for that reason I've been kind of hesitant to make any end grain cutting boards. What I did use, however, was my thickness planer. It was a bit frightening at first, but I took extremely light cuts and it worked out just fine. I'm not sure that I would recommend this to anybody else, but if you're in a pinch and you don't want to sand for hours and hours and hours to level out your cutting board, it does work. It's going to be a Mother's Day present for my wife. Hopefully she gets lots of use out of it. I didn't make a build video for this because, I mean, let's face it, there's a million cutting board videos out there, and if you're interested in learning how to make a cutting board, I'm sure there are better ones out there than what I could do. But this was fun. This is the first one I've ever made. Well, that's not true. I've tried to make 2 other ones, and they were not successful. I just kind of went at it with them, and I didn't really have a plan, and they just didn't turn out very well. Along those same lines, I didn't do a video for the router lift because, well, Jay Bates already did one. And, you know, if you want to find more information about that, I highly suggest you go and look at his stuff because it's a great lift and it works really well. So that's really about it as far as what I've done recently in the shop. Coming up, I've got another table to build. It's a pretty standard style table, 4 legs atop, except it's going to expand. I've built a couple of those in the past. However, this one's going to be new because it's going to expand in the center of the table as opposed to the breadboard ends, which I think all the videos I've done up till now just show the tables expanding at the breadboard ends. So that'll be something new. And I just got a commission for another table that's a pretty neat design too. The legs are sort of a 90-degree angle offset thing. It'll be fun to build. So keep your eye out for those in the future, and you know, if you like these type of videos, these shop updates, let me know. I'll do some more of them. I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there that do them. I enjoy watching them, and I wasn't really planning on doing these, but you know, there were a couple things in the shop that I'd done that I didn't video, and I thought maybe somebody might be interested in seeing it. So there it is. So if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and all that stuff. Alright, thanks for watching.